These are the shocking events that turned Katy Perry from the undisputed queen of pop into one of music's most controversial figures. In just 7 years, Perry went from making history with 5 number-one hits to releasing the worst-reviewed album by a female artist in Metacritic history. Let's start with what made Katy Perry untouchable. In 2010, her album Teenage Dream did something only Michael Jackson had achieved with Thriller. It spawned 5 consecutive number-one hits from a single album: California Girls, Teenage Dream, Firework, Last Friday Night, and The One That Got Away dominated the charts for 2 straight years. Perry wasn't just a pop star, she was a cultural phenomenon. The numbers were staggering. Teenage Dream sold 3 million copies in the United States alone. Her 2015 Super Bowl halftime show drew over 118 million viewers, making it the most-watched halftime performance in history. That same year, she was the world's highest-paid female musician. By 2018, she held that title again. Everything Katy touched turned to gold. But success breeds complacency, and Perry's first major stumble came with her personal life spilling into the headlines. Her messy divorce from Russell Brand in 2012 had tabloids buzzing, but it was her 2014 feud with Taylor Swift that really started chipping away at her image. The fight wasn't even about a man, it was about backup dancers. Perry had hired some of Swift's dancers for her tour, and Swift felt betrayed. Taylor told Rolling Stone, "She did something so horrible. I was like, oh, we're just straight-up enemies." While Perry tried to focus on music, releasing Prism in 2013, the cracks were already showing. Prism sold 1.7 million copies, still successful by most standards, but a significant drop from Teenage Dream's 3 million. The warning signs were there, but nobody wanted to acknowledge them. Then came 2017, and everything went wrong at once. Perry's album Witness was supposed to mark her evolution as an artist. Instead, it marked the beginning of her downfall. The album debuted at #1 with 180,000 album-equivalent units. Respectable, but nowhere near her previous peaks. Then came the real shock when second-week sales plummeted by 89%, marking the second biggest second-week drop in chart history. The singles told an even more brutal story. Bon Appetit and Swish Swish failed to crack the top 40. The first time in Perry's career that major singles had performed so poorly, Witness ended up selling just 600,000 copies compared to Prism's 4.2 million. Perry had gone from pop royalty to struggling artist in the span of one album cycle. What made the Witness era particularly painful was how personal Perry made it. She live-streamed herself for 4 days straight, underwent therapy on camera, and constantly discussed her mental health struggles. While vulnerability can be powerful, fans and critics felt like they were watching a breakdown in real time rather than an artistic statement. The Taylor Swift feud reached its peak during this period, with Perry releasing Swish Swish, widely interpreted as a diss track. But instead of winning the battle, Perry looked petty and vindictive, while Swift continued her career renaissance. The contrast was stark. Swift was ascending to new heights while Perry was spiraling downward. Perry's career found a lifeline in 2018 when she joined American Idol as a judge alongside Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan. The show gave her a steady paycheck and kept her relevant, but it also exposed her to new controversies. In her very first season, Perry kissed 19-year-old contestant Benjamin Glaze on the lips without his consent. The incident sparked discussions about double standards and inappropriate behavior, tarnishing Perry's image even more. What was even more troubling was her treatment of contestants. When 25-year-old mother Sarah Beth Leby revealed she had 3 children, Perry quipped, "Honey, you've been laying on the table too much." The comment was slammed as mom-shaming, and Liba eventually dropped out of the competition, explaining on TikTok that she felt humiliated by Perry's remarks. These incidents painted Perry as out of touch and insensitive, a far cry from the relatable, fun-loving pop star who once sang about teenage dreams and California Girls. The woman who built her career on empowerment was now being accused of tearing other women down. Perry tried to rehabilitate her image with 2020's Smile album, released shortly after giving birth to daughter Daisy Dove with fiancé Orlando Bloom. The album was meant to showcase a more mature, mentally healthy Perry, but it failed to connect with audiences. While not as critically panned as Witness, Smile continued Perry's commercial decline. By 2023, Perry made a telling decision that revealed how much her career had changed. She sold her music catalog to Litmus Music for an estimated $225 million. For an artist in her prime, selling your catalog suggests you don't believe your future work will be as valuable as your past hits. Perry was essentially cashing out on her legacy. The decision to leave American Idol in 2024 after 6 seasons seemed like Perry's attempt to reclaim her musical relevance. She announced during an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live that she wanted to go out and feel that pulse to my own beat. Fans were excited. Maybe this was Perry's comeback moment. Instead, they got 143. An album so poorly received, it became the worst-reviewed album by a female artist in Metacritic history, scoring just 34 out of 100. Critics called it outdated, comparing it to AI-generated music. The lead single, Woman's World, was labeled a monumental catastrophe by Pitchfork, with many questioning Perry's attempt at feminist messaging. The controversy wasn't just about the music's quality, it was about who Perry chose to work with. 143 was largely produced by Dr. Luke, the same producer behind her biggest hits, but also the man accused of sexual assault by Kesha in a highly publicized lawsuit that was settled in 2023. Perry's decision to work with Dr. Luke again, despite the allegations, and after years of Me Too awareness, felt tone-deaf to many fans and critics. Perry defended the collaboration, saying, "I understand that working with him started a lot of conversations, and he was one of many collaborators that I collaborated with. But the damage was done." Perry looked like someone who prioritized potential hits over supporting other women in the industry. The album's commercial performance matched its critical reception. 143 debuted at number 6 on the Billboard 200 with just 48,000 album equivalent units, a far cry from the 192,000 first-week copies that Teenage Dream moved in 2010. The album remained on the charts for only 2 weeks, making it Perry's shortest-running album to date. But Perry's troubles weren't over. In April 2025, she joined an all-female Blue Origin spaceflight that was meant to highlight women's achievements in science and exploration. Instead of inspiring headlines, the 11-minute trip to space generated massive backlash. Critics pointed out the hypocrisy of someone who preaches climate action, taking a recreational spaceflight that burns enormous amounts of fossil fuels. A PR expert told media outlets, "Katy preaches climate action while burning swimming pools of jet fuel for PR. She's become a PR pyromaniac, causing her reputation to go boom. She's become the poster child for why some celebrities should disappear. Katy Perry should vanish from the public eye before she becomes a full-time meme." The New York Times' Amanda Hess wrote a scathing piece titled "One Giant Stunt for Womankind," noting that while Blue Origin pitched the flight as encouraging for young girls to pursue STEM studies, it was really just capitalism's most decadent spoils, disguised as female empowerment. Perry's personal life took another hit in July 2025 when she and Orlando Bloom ended their engagement after 9 years together. The split was attributed to the couple wanting to focus on co-parenting their daughter Daisy, but it marked another high-profile relationship failure for Perry, following her divorce from Russell Brand. The Lifetime's tour supporting 143 has been a mixed bag. While some international shows sold well, U.S. dates have struggled with ticket sales. Reports suggest Perry's Las Vegas residency, Play at Resorts World, was also a financial disaster, with sources claiming the venue lost money despite paying Perry between $750,000 and $900,000 per show. The residency has reportedly been discontinued. Even Perry's music videos have become sources of controversy. The video for Lifetimes resulted in fines when her production team filmed at a protected UNESCO site in Spain without proper permits. It's hard to imagine the Katy Perry of 2010 making such basic logistical errors. What makes Perry's downfall so remarkable is how avoidable much of it was. Her early missteps, the Taylor Swift feud, the Witness-era oversharing, the inappropriate American Idol moments, could have been course-corrected with better judgment and advisors. Instead, each controversy seemed to compound the last. The Dr. Luke collaboration controversy particularly stands out as a self-inflicted wound. In an era where female solidarity in the music industry has never been stronger, Perry's decision to work with someone accused of assaulting another female artist felt like a betrayal of her own feminist messaging. Perry has shown some self-awareness about her situation. During a recent Chicago concert, she told the audience, "Well, I thought I was the most hated person on the internet. I think that's false. managing to joke about her circumstances. She's also been open about the emotional toll, discussing therapy and self-reflection in interviews. In her latest social media posts, Perry has talked about being done forcing her career after what she called a roller coaster year. Perhaps that's exactly what she needs to do: step back, reflect, and figure out who Katy Perry is in 2025. Rather than trying to recapture who she was in 2010, the saddest part of Perry's story isn't that she stopped making hits. It's that she stopped making music that felt authentic. The woman who gave us Firework and Roar, songs about empowerment and finding your voice, has spent years seeming to lose her own voice in a series of calculated comebacks and tone-deaf decisions. Katy Perry isn't finished. She's too talented and too wealthy for that. But her journey from pop royalty to cautionary tale serves as a reminder that in the music industry, staying relevant is often harder than becoming famous in the first place. Sometimes the biggest enemy of success isn't failure, it's trying too hard to recreate past glory instead of creating something new. The question now isn't whether Katy Perry can make another hit song, it's whether she can remember why we fell in love with her music in the first place.